I've had this idea for a while but was apprehensive about actually doing it. So I want to give a big shout out to subscriber Remain Profane for pushing me over the edge. Although he did say I mostly stayed subscribed because of the cool KoTOR polls, and now it's just a habit. So I'm like, how do I get this guy to watch videos? And here we are. For this first video I decided to pick something light, and by that I mean a topic that isn't terribly deep, because this poll did receive over 7,000 votes and I had to go through 174 comments. But the question was simple enough. I asked which game had the better party members, Knights of the Old Republic 1 or 2? KoTOR 2 won a landslide victory with exactly 3/4 of the vote. KoTOR 2 is basically synonymous with Kreia, especially on this channel we have a certain reverence for the character. So I added a pinned comment asking, what if we exclude Kreia? Would that make a difference? Most people still said no, they would still prefer the characters of KoTOR 2. But Georgie S said, of course it would. It's basically for her observations on their personalities that we know them that well. Without Kreia, KoTOR 2 companions wouldn't be as interesting in his opinion. I disagree with this assessment. Having made all these videos, if I were to remove all the videos of Kreia when she speaks about any of the other companions, what would we be left with? Sure, we wouldn't know them quite as well, but the bulk of what we learn of them still comes from them. Revan, seeing as she's the character I hate the most, yeah, it does make a little more difference. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I like the KoTOR 1 companions more. You'd be surprised how many people absolutely despise Kreia, and for many different reasons. I got into an argument on Facebook once with someone who said that Chris Avalon had no right to deconstruct Star Wars the way he did. I think a lot of times it's people not focusing on what she says, but how she says it. Epistemix claims that Kreia tied them all together, that her interactions with other members was crucial, suggesting it all falls apart without her. And there were a few more, but they were in the minority. Now over here we have Leonard Kirsch, who says, nope, not as long as Mira, Brianna, and Vizaz stay around. Laughing face. For those of you who frequent the streams, link in the description box, you'll know that Leonard is, like myself, a known weeb. His sentiments are echoed by BCMM. As long as my waifu is in, I'll be okay. KoTOR 1 really only has one waifu, Bastila. Maybe you thought of Ban if that's your thing, but even if you like her character, I think we can agree that Juhani doesn't quite qualify for waifu status. I do enjoy her accent though. Also, if you're thinking that Mission Veo is waifu material,
911, what's your emergency?
Master Sayer said that he prefers KoTOR 2 because the party members taught things to the exile. Could you say this about KoTOR 1 as well in some way? Maybe they did teach Revan things, but only from a lore perspective? Slinky Sloth makes the point that there wasn't enough story with Zalbar and T3M4. Neither had much to say, true. T3 might be a bit more forgivable. Zalbar was really flat. Outside of the main quest line on Kashyyyk, he's a walking carpet. But he goes on to say that Hanhar annoys him, a Wookiee character with more to say and more of a story behind him. Arissa Storm wishes KoTOR 2 had more rounded out dialogue tracks. KoTOR 1's party member dialogues were largely based on how many star maps you've uncovered, while for KoTOR 2 it was largely based on how much influence you had with them individually. Arissa seems to claim that only KoTOR 1 required progression in the game to unlock more dialogue. However, in KoTOR 2, every character starts at a base 50 influence and you can go up or down from there, which still requires you to progress in the game to get the opportunities to either increase or decrease influence. Also with this approach, it technically does increase the game's replay value, which I consider a good thing. What do you guys think of this? Javier Vasquez claims that he prefers KoTOR 2's party members because in the first game, they were just tweaked characters of the Star Wars films in his opinion. He says Bastila Shan is Luke Skywalker combined with Princess Leia. Carthonasi is Han Solo with a more formal attitude similar to a young Obi-Wan Kenobi. Candidace Ordo is Boba / Jango Fett given his past life as a mercenary / bounty hunter with a twist of being a proud warrior. Mission Veo is also Princess Leia, but with more of an attitude / mouth and an immature personality. Zalbar is Chewbacca, T3M4 is R2-D2, Juhani is Episode 2 Anakin Skywalker. with a more expressed embracing towards the dark side. I guess because of the whole
And not just the men, but the women and the children. I hate them!
HK-47 is C-3PO with an assassin twist, and Jolee Bindo is Qui-Gon Jinn given his out-of-the-books way of thinking, fused with old Ben Kenobi and Yoda's backstory as an old Jedi in hiding. Moving out of the replies to the pinned comment, we have Sergio Ruiz. He found the characters in KoTOR 1 more interesting when he was younger, but now that he's older, he appreciates the characters from KoTOR 2 for their lessons. I've seen many comments of people who say that they couldn't understand KoTOR 2 or Kreia when they first played as youngsters, and I count myself among their ranks. Once I replayed KoTOR 2 as an adult, that's really when it blew me away. I started looking up clips on YouTube, noticed an alarming lack of them, and the rest is history. Javier Vasquez left another comment that echoed something I've thought for a long time as well, saying that the comparison between KoTOR 1 characters and KoTOR 2 characters is very much like the ones between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Obsidian Entertainment is exceptional at creating unique characters, especially as party members, but many times these characters are not friends. In KoTOR 1, everyone seems to get along, even when they really shouldn't. Canderous and Juhani should be more adversarial, for example, like with Beodur. In KoTOR 2, the characters don't trust each other, and sometimes are actively hostile to one another, but they work together because their own personal goals align. Maybe I'm just being a pessimist when I say that I find that more realistic. In Fallout New Vegas, did you know that the Ulysses character was originally planned to be a follower? Ulysses is a member of Caesar's Legion. Boone is an NCR soldier and Cass an NCR citizen. Arcade Gannon, ex-Enclave. Veronica, Brotherhood of Steel. These people do not get along. Not to mention the characters from Dead Money, where the entire premise was people kept turning on each other.
The survivors of the Sierra Madre thought about gathering at the fountain and waiting for the courier. In the end, the caller's silence made them uneasy, and the fear of turning on each other made them hesitate and leave the goodbyes unspoken.
Also, I think Chris Avalon has said that he always found writing love/romance stories in games kinda cringe. I noticed a good portion of people preferring KoTOR 1 because they found the characters to be more likable. Some even conceded that KoTOR 2 characters are indeed better written, but they don't like them as people. I also noticed people preferring KoTOR 2 for utility, saying that you can turn characters into Jedi. I know I shouldn't be that guy, but here I go. You're turning them into Force users. You're teaching them how to utilize the powers of the Force, not inducting them into a religion.
One does not need to be Jedi to learn the ways of the Force. I suspect it cares little for our codes and philosophies.
This all goes to show you that at the end of the day, it really does come down to preference. And there's really nothing you can do about it. Do you guys like videos like this? Would you want more? Let's see if we can get to 100 likes. Don't hesitate to leave me a comment either. I read all of them, as you can see. Please consider following me on Twitch. We're trying to get back to affiliate. Also, please check out my second channel. The videos there are a hell of a lot of fun to make. Until next time.
Holding vendettas is a weakness. An open mind can unlock many doors.